Good morning, all. Today is the 16th of June 2016. This video is quick tips on how to improve your entry when getting into the trade. So I received a question from a viewer asking how do I account for stop loss, or where do I set my stop to, and whether my stop loss is dollar related, and if it's whether depending on the ATR. So my intraday, I really don't use ATR for an intraday move. Mainly I use it for the daily, try to gauge the price of the market. And my entry is solely based on um, understanding uh, really where my budget is. So at any given trade, typically um, I have a mental budget, daily budget or daily loss that I follow religiously. And how I was able to develop that budget is that I lost way too many times, and I lost, pretty good substantial amount of money, and I learn, by from my mistakes. I learn, things that are what not to do, in a way. So let's take a look at an entry that I'm in now, since this is a live um, um, trade here. So watching the market, I noticed that this pattern right here. I'm gonna highlight it. Uh, could be signaling a potential for a reversal. So let me just highlight this area here. Surprised it didn't do it. So this pattern here, signal a reversal. So as I watch it unfold, my thinking is that there's where your low risk, high reward type entry could take place. So my thinking is that um, you know buying at these area might be a good area to buy, right? So as this candle declines down, I'm watching transaction, immediately I'm watching transaction of what's happening over here. And actually this might be a good example if I get stopped out, because as you can see, my stop, it's right at about 5 ticks. So um, to kind of increase my probability of not getting stopped out, which sometimes it's unavoidable. I mean, if you're going to trade, you will face this almost every day. So you just have to learn the loss that you're just willing to take the loss. Um, and I'm saying that because when you get into a trade, you have to have already set in your mind that this is what you're willing to lose. So in this example, I have 5 ticks that I have set out that I'm willing to lose. So basically what I'm trying to say is that if I get in here, I'm willing to accept the risk that I could lose $100 in this transaction. This because this is where I would like to conduct business, right? So when I entered short here at 16, which is if I can mark it, price. So when I entered short, it was here. I'm willing to accept this loss. So anywhere that's traded here, yeah, if you take a certain amount of heat, then I'm willing to take that much risk. And if I move my stop, I can even go up to as high as 25 if I want to. But But right now, it's my first trade, and I'm trying to get a feel of the market. So, something I developed, over time, just so I can kind of engage in to where the market could potentially turn. I go ahead and I put on a trade just to get a feel of the market, and put a tight stop. So that way, I mean, if you get stopped out, you're either wrong, or you're either on the wrong side of the market. So in this case, you know, my bias going into this trade is obviously short, but it could go as high as this and retest from that level. So um, how I pick this level here is, like I said, 5 ticks is all I'm willing to risk on the first trade to get a feel of the market, and also this supports the higher time frame. So this is a 10-minute chart. As you can see, my stop is still at 21, and that's just 1 tick above this opening price. So what I'm trying to say here is that if this candle here shoots back up, there's a good chance that this candle is actually forming a reversal on the higher time frame, and as a result, I don't want to be in that trade anymore. So how do I know that ahead of time? Sometimes you just have to ask three simple questions. One is that how much are you willing to lose on any given trade? So that way you have it straight, you have it set straight in your head that is the area that you want to conduct business in. Two is, what is your target? What is your risk reward? So if you watch my other videos on backtesting risk reward, um, oh, from my study, based on that spreadsheet alone, a good sweet spot is about 1.7. You don't want to go any lower than that. 1.7 risk reward. So if you round it to two, say, so at this time um, I am risking 5, so I am willing to make 10. So as you can see, I didn't even put my target there because I believe this, you might even head up to this direction here and do a little rotation, price rotation around here. So um, that's the reason why I didn't put a target there. But that second question is, where is your target? So, and can you get that target based on your trading style? So if the answer is yes to all those two questions, I think it will improve your you certainly would improve your entries, because otherwise you're gonna have to figure out how to get the entry without being stopped. So as you can see, watching, so the level where I placed it, as you can see, there's it's getting rejected at 21. So I knew that ahead of time. So if I'm risking 5 ticks, the most I'd trade is basically you can't get any lower than this because you can get rejected at 20. So now I've seen it too as well, that this thing goes up to 22, stops you out by a tick, and comes right down, and that's okay. Like I said, you should know ahead of time what you're willing to risk on any given trade, right? So anyways, that's my 2 cents on how to improve your entry. And I started out with I believe about 20 ticks, and normally right now that's my hard stop, is 20 ticks. And back then I used to have OCO order, which puts on automatically. Once you get into the trade, it puts out a hard stop, and it's good to have, especially if you're not following your stop loss. So you just let the computer stop, or your order, um, essentially get you out of the market if you just happen to freeze. Or personally, I've run into problems to where it goes out of my it goes out of I used to never put my stop in there, and it goes way out of my budget, and you just freeze, and then you don't even know when to press the button. So to to minimize loss, what I'm doing now is as soon as I put in my entry, I automatically, this has just become second nature. I put my stop loss for us, because I mean the winner is always going to take care of itself, but the losers is what's going to keep you out of the market. Anyways, hopefully that helps. If you have any other questions, just shoot me, leave a comment, or shoot me an email, and I'm whenever free time, when I have a free time, I can make the video. Until then, I'll see you on the next one. Good day.